And it turns out we can create as many of these kind of branches as we'd like. So now we're in a situation, suppose that I'd like to add some functionality to my program, and we're going to just do something kind of silly here. We're just going to make it prompt for a number and print out that number in a second message. In practice, you would not bother with a branch for a tiny change like this. It would be something where I'm undertaking a more significant potential change, or I'm working on a bug fix. So let's see what branches my clone knows about. If I type the command git branch, I see that there's one called master. The star in front of it and the fact that it's green means that it is my current branch. So there's not a whole lot I can do there other than create a new branch. So let's do that. I'm going to give my new branch a name, get number. And that's because I'm going to be using it as the implementation of getting a number in my program. And now if I do get branch, I see two branches listed. The one I just created is called get number, and the one that already existed is called master. The little star tells me that I am currently still in the master branch. Does anybody need me to stop and go back on anything here, or just yell, chat, whatever? Okay, I guess we're probably still good then. Next, I would like to switch my development to be working in the get number branch. And here's another new git command that does that. It's called get checkout. Get number. So now if I say get branch, after doing the get checkout, the little star has moved from master to get number, meaning that the files in my current directory here in my clone are following the get number branch rather than the master branch. Well, that's not hard to do so far because the get number branch and the master branch are exactly the same. When I did the get branch, get number command up here, I basically just put a little bookmark in there saying, okay, we had code up to this point. Now it's going to diverge into two possible development paths. One is called master, one is called get number. If I reload my branch practice here, oops, editor, I see that it hasn't changed. We'll see things later that it has changed. Actually, let me kill it here for a second. You notice down in the right corner, in Emacs anyway, other editors may do something similar. It's telling me that for the purposes of Git, this is on the master branch. So let me kill that buffer and reload it. You don't have to do this part if you don't want. When I reload, after I've done the git checkout, it notices that, hey, I'm in the get number branch now. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that I'm in my get number branch, I'm going to start coding up my new functionality here. And you can code whatever, however you'd like to make it here. I'm just going to create a scanner over the keyboard. And I'm going to create an int. Put a little prompt here in here as well. Please enter a nice integer and make yours whatever you'd like it. And then, okay, I'm going along. I'm in the middle of this development. Yeah, this one, I need just one more line here, but for the sake of our example, I'm going to say, oh no, this is terrible. I just noticed I spelled my name wrong when I added my author here. I don't want that to be in my repository any longer than necessary. So I'm going to go back and fix that. But I don't want to fix that only on the get number branch. I want to fix that on the master branch. This get number branch, I might never even use this stuff. It's not part of the main development line yet. So I'm going to go over here and say, okay, I've got some progress so far. I'm going to see what changes I've made so far. Do I want to commit these changes? Yes, so I've added 3 lines. And I'm going to go ahead and commit those. I'll say started implementation of getting number. I'm not going to push this yet. I don't want this to go up onto GitHub. We'll do that in a few minutes anyway. But right now, since I've committed this, I've now got on this branch, I just typed git log if you didn't see it go by. I've got the commit I just made. I've got the one where I added my name, and I've got the one from the initial. And now I want to go back to the master. And the git checkout command gets me there. So I can do a git checkout master. And it says I switched to branch master. I can see now that when I type get branch, the one with the star by it is the master. And this is where, until you get to know and trust Git, it's a little bit terrifying. Because now if I look at the contents of my file, the changes that I made with those 3 new lines are no longer here. They've disappeared. And if I reload the file in my editor, they're not there. But that's okay. I committed them. They're safely put away. But when I checked out the master version, it replaced all the files in my directory with the ones that were there when I first did the branch, the last thing that happened in the master branch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix my spelling. Hopefully you'll do this as well in your version. By following along with this, you're going to be earning 5 points, so please be doing so. I'll want to see what's in your repository at the end. All right, so now I've made my spelling fix. If I do a git diff over here, it's showing exactly the change that I made. And I would like this change to be made to my master branch on my repository immediately. And I want to get it up onto GitHub. I don't want my name spelled incorrectly out there for the world to see. So my commit message is going to be this. This is a typo fix. It's saying that it committed to the master branch. And I can go ahead and push this to GitHub. And I just want to make sure over here on GitHub, I now have 3 commits. And where I added my name, it is spelled correctly over there as well. So this is great. I was in the middle of developing something new. I realized, oh no, I've got to go do something else in this same repository. I switched branches, made that change, committed it, pushed it. So if this was a released program, I could make a new release that's got my name spelled correctly, all that kind of stuff. But now I'd like to go back and pick up where I left off with my other development. So I'm going to do a git checkout of git number, switch back to my other branch. Reload it in my editor. And great, this is exactly what I was hoping to see almost. My 3 lines that I had written before are back. But the change that I made to the master branch did not get here into the git number branch. That's a problem. I'd like that change to be in this branch as well. So before I make that fix, let me do another git log here. I'm in the git number branch. The only 3 commits that are the sum total of those commits is what equals what's in my directory. I've got the initial creation, I've got when I added my name, and I've got when I added those 3 items there. The commit, if I temporarily switch back here to the master and do a git log, I've still got my first 2 commits, but then the 3rd commit is the typo fix. What I want to do is bring in the commit from the master branch into my git number branch, because I want that change. And that's going to be a git merge. So your syntax here, git merge, you can give it a -m, just like we do with our commit messages. It may or may not need it, but it's good practice to do so it doesn't pop you into those annoying editors when something doesn't go quite as planned halfway through. So what I'm telling it to do is I'd like to merge into the current branch, which is get number, all of the commits that I don't have from the master branch. And now I see this message. Some of you have seen these messages when you do git pulls from when you made changes up on GitHub and you're bringing it into your repository. Same idea here. It's saying that it's auto merging branch practice.java, and it had to merge it because I had changes from a commit that added these 3 lines down here. The master had a commit that changed this line up here, and it's going to create a new version of the file which has both of those things in it. So now my name is spelled correctly and I've got my other 3 lines. So this is good. I can now pick up where I left off. I took my little aside, I fixed my spelling, and now I'm going to finish this implementation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So whatever you want it to say, that's fine. Okay, so now let's suppose we are ready to commit this. Pretend that I tested it and it works. I'll do another diff just to be sure I've only changed what I think I've changed. I should have just added that 1 line, and I did. I'll commit this with a beautiful commit message.